All right, so you're welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the fifth example we were supposed to do when we talked about the cosine rule. All right, so we'll quickly look at it here. It says in a triangle ABC that side A is given as 9.6 meters, B is given as 12.3, and angle A is 32.8. So we are asked to find the value of C. Now, for this kind of example, it's always good to make a sketch of what you have. So let's take it that this is our A, and here is our B and C. Okay, so we are told that angle A is 32.8 degrees, and that the other two angles are not given, and side A is 9.6. Let's leave the unit for now. Side B, which is this, is 12.3, and side C is not given. So we are to get the value of side C. Now, if you are not careful to do this, of course, you might be drawn to say that you should use cosine rule, the one that starts with C squared, to be equal to A squared plus. But the last statement there is going to fault the formula. Why? Because there is no angle C. And so what do? I am going to write the one that will involve the angle that is given to me. And that is A squared equal to B squared plus C squared minus. So of course, angle A is given. So all I need to do here now is to substitute and then look for the value of C. So let's kindly do that. So what is our A? Our A is here, which is 9.6 squared. Then equal to B, which is 12.3 squared. C is not given, but we can keep it this way. So here we now have 2 into my B, which is 12.3, then multiplied by C. So I can just leave it as 12.3C. And that is multiplied by the cos of 32. So 32.8, which is A. All right? Okay, so all I need to do now is to try to simplify what we have. Let's quickly use our calculator to do that. All right, so the square of 9.6 is 92.16, and the square of 12.3 is 151.29. So we bring down our C squared, and then we have 2 multiplying 12.3 will give us 24.6C, and the cos of 32.8 is 0.8406. All right, so what do we do here? We will now multiply this out. What we have now is 92.16 is equal to 151.29, then plus C squared minus, if you multiply 24.6C times this, you have approximately 20.68, then C together with it. So from what we can see clearly here, you will see that this has led us into a quadratic equation. So all you need to do now is that you can see a quadratic equation in C. That's the beauty of maths. This is us coming from cosine rule into a quadratic equation. And so that's why I usually say that mathematics is not done in isolation. A particular topic can come into another while solving problems. All right, so let's quickly do. So we are now going to collect everything in C. So we begin with this C here. So if I keep that C there, then minus 20C, 20.368C, then this one should be here. If I take over 92 here, that's going to give me 151.29 minus 92.16, and that is 59.13. So which is positive 59.13. Everything now is equal to 0. So you have a beautiful quadratic equation. In this case here, remember every quadratic equation is of this form: ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So what it means is that our a, which is the coefficient of the squared, is equal to 1. and our B is equal to negative 20.68, and our C is 59.13. So we can make use of the formula method, which says that our variable here, now remember, this C is not a repetition of this, it's just a kind of notation from this formula. So remember the formula for this, it says that C or X is equal to, let me write it with X. It says that X is equal to minus B plus or minus square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Now, what can we do here? Remember that in this case now, this X stands for our C, which we are looking for. Please also note that it is not the same as this C. So this is going to be equal to minus of this will become positive. So that will be 20.68, then plus or minus the square root of the same. If you now square, let me square that. The square of this, of course, if you square this, it will still be positive. 427.66. Then minus, you will subtract 4 times A, which is 1, then times C, which is 59.13. Okay, so that's all over 2 times 1, which is 2. Okay, so this is going to be 20.68 plus or minus the square root of, if you multiply this by 4 and then use this to subtract it, you are going to have 191.14. Okay, and this is all over 2. And so if we take the square root, we'll have 20.68 plus or minus 13.8 approximately all over 2. And if we come over here, it means that our C is equal to 20.68 plus 13.8 all over 2, or 20.68 minus 13.8 all over 2. Okay, so remember that the two answers are coming because of the plus or minus. All right, so let's quickly look at that. So that means our C is equal to 17.24, or if we have the other 20.68 minus 13.8, that's going to give us, divided by 2 is equal to 3.44, and that is the solution for the C that is required. So here you can see that following the process, we've been able to get the value of C to be 2. So the meaning is that for any of these values of T, if you substitute it into this formula, that is going to be true. And you can check. I always like to check so that you'll be sure that what you have done is correct. So since we wrote here that A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC, then times the cos of A. Can we substitute, since we now have our C, let's put any of this C here and see if we will get A squared. So quickly, or approximately, of course it should be an approximation. So what is our B? Our B was 12.3 squared plus, let's use this C now. Let's use 3.4. That's approximately to 2 decimal places. That will be 17.2 and 3.4. Sorry, to 1 decimal place. Since the question came in 1 decimal place, let's put our answer in 1 decimal place. All right, so that's going to be minus 2 into our B is 12.3, then multiplied by C, which is 3.4, then multiplied by the cos of 32.8. Now, let's see if we get this and take the square root, if we are going to get our A. All right, so what is our 12.3 squared is 151.29. Then let's do the square of 3.4. That's 11.56 minus Now let's multiply this. That's giving us 83.64. Now multiply that by cos 32.8. That's giving us, let me now remove this, it's giving us approximately 70.30. Okay, so now add what we have here and subtract. We will get, that's giving us 92.55. Remember that this is our a squared. So this means that a alone will be the square root of this. So square root of 92.55 is approximately 9.62, which is the same thing as 9.6, which was given originally. So you can see that even if you check it using 17.2, it will still be correct. And so that is the solution for the C that is required. And that is where we end it for this video. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and do give a thumbs up to our video. We'll see you in our next episode. Bye.